Namaskar. What a pleasant afternoon it is. Isn't it, Ayushi?
It indeed is.
How apt it would be to say that when a man lives without law, the man lives without freedom. And how fortunate the audience today would be if it were to know the necessity to continue legal learning and how important legal literacy is for a common man. So here we are, Mody School organizing Nyay, the legal literacy webinar to let the common man know the intrinsic value that the law of the land carries.
Yes, the world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are having some of them here today to build this event. With this note, Ayushi,
And I, Aditi,
would like to extend a heartiest welcome to our revered speakers, Professor Satish C. Shastri, Dean, School of Law, Mody University, and Advocate Shiva Gaur, Madam Miss Nishi Rana, Principal Mody School, teachers, parents, and my dear friends. Dear audience, it is a tradition in Mody School that we begin any celebration or program with a school theme song based on character building. So here we have a Mody girls singing Nirmano ke Pavan Yug mein.
so here we have our girls singing Nirmano ke Pavan Yug mein. Over to you, girls.
टॉपिक उठ के ऊपर आ जाए ऐसा कुछ।
Thank you, girls. What a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, Mody School is an exclusively girls' English medium residential school from classes 3 to 12 affiliated to the CBSE New Delhi. Established in 1989 by Sri Rajendra Prasad Ji Modi, it provides a supportive environment for its students to fulfill their potential as individuals and as contributors to society. The school brings together students from all over the country. Almost all the states are represented within the student body, which encompasses a variety of languages and cultures. Thus, the school has forever been committed to weaving the international dimension into its curricular fabric.
Committed to excellence, the Institute seeks to impart knowledge and develop skills in women to become professionals well versed in modern technology and management practices, while imbibing social sensitivity and environmental consciousness for the betterment of self and society. We are the first in Rajasthan to get accreditation from NABED, National Accreditation Board for Education and Training. It is the proud winner of the International School Award 2011 to 2014 by the British Council. The school is also a member of prestigious organizations of India, such as Helpage India, Rotary Club, and Indian Development Foundation.
The Latin maxim ignorantia juris non excusat in plain, which reads as ignorance of law is not an excuse. This is one of the age old principles followed under the Roman law and even in our own common law. If every person of discretion is to know what law is, an effort to teach law outside the remit of a professional law school may have significant social benefits. Law is a subject which has been traditionally taught in universities for almost 8 centuries. Some familiarity with law enhances one's understanding of public affairs and an awareness of one's entitlements and duties as a citizen. It may also be helpful in eliminating some of the mistaken notions about law and some of the inveterate prejudices about law, lawyers, and the legal system as such. Another advantage is that an understanding of law can undoubtedly encourage talented students to pursue a career in law, an objective which is laudable in its own right.
It is a very rare occasion indeed when we get the welcome opportunity to speak of and introduce a distinguished member of the vast Modi family. We see each other in such familiar surroundings that we sometimes have to be reminded of the eminence and loftiness of such a personage. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to this gathering just such a dignitary, whose very aura permeates distinction and grandeur. Let us welcome Professor Sir Satish C. Shastri. Professor Satish C. Shastri is a well-known environmentalist and is currently the Dean, Faculty of Law, Mody University of Science and Technology, Laxmangarh. Professor Shastri is also an executive member of the Commonwealth Legal Association, South Asia, member of the Governing Council of the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. He has extensive 41 years of teaching experience to his credit, alongside holding various administrative positions held from time to time. He served as the Dean, Faculty of Law and Head, Department of Law at University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. Having done his LLM and PhD from the University of Rajasthan, he did his MSL, Master of Studies in Law, in Environmental Law from the Vermont Law School, USA. Professor Shastri is the recipient of George Perkins Marsh Scholarship Scholar Award, USA, and Vedanta Distinguished Professor Award 2019, Bangkok. Professor Shastri has served and assisted various national legal institutions with unflagging determination and intelligence. He is the only dean elected twice for more than 6 years, is a member of the Governing Council of the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi, and has also been nominated by the Chief Justice of India as a member of the Library Committee of the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. He served as a member of Human Rights Committee of the UGC New Delhi. He has also been a member of the inspection team of the UGC New Delhi and inspected various universities on behalf of the same. He was appointed as the first director of the Academy of Legal Studies, Bar Council of India, New Delhi. At present, he is a member of Senate and Syndicate of Mody Institute of Science and Technology and Central University of Jammu.
Minus Ma'am, the
Is
host will
also
let
a
you
writer of
in.
Par Excellence.
The
He has
meeting host
also
will let
authored
you in.
and edited 10 books and has written more than 6 dozen articles in national and international journals. Sir, I'm indeed short of words to talk about the series of accolades that you have to your credit. We are elated to have you amidst us today for this event, sir. We all will be blessed to listen to the knowledge you have to impart.
Thank you very much.
Moving forward,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Sayushi, for
please,
your
sir.
kind words.
Moving
Good
forward, I
afternoon.
now take this opportunity.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have this privilege, and I'm a proud privilege, in fact, pleasure, and my big namaskar to the August gathering of all the intellectual persons of this day, including the guests, parents, staff, and students. Today's afternoon seems really meaningful with the very presence of one of our very close Modi family member whose very character pervades significance and splendor. I feel elated to graciously welcome such a great dignitary to the August gathering, that is Professor Satish C. Sastry, Dean, School of Law, Modi University. Sir, words fail when it comes to thanking you for giving your generous consent to guide young minds on the necessity for continual legal learning despite your busy and highly occupied schedule. A detailed introduction to the highly embellished career has already been proposed by our anchor. Sorry for this technical glitch, but I would like to only add that Professor Shastri ji is a well-known environmentalist, and for him, work is worship. And it is rightly said that law is valuable not because it is law, but because there is right in it. And I firmly believe then when it is in the right hand like yours, sir, to transmit related knowledge, it gains greater merit and worth. Dear students, let me not fail to quote that under his dynamic and vibrant leadership, School of Legal Studies of the Mody University, Laxmangarh, has been adjudged and awarded Best in India for maintaining higher standards of education for the year 2016. Sir, the School of Law rests on your sagacious and competent shoulders. I once again wholeheartedly welcome you and your perfectly mentored student, Advocate Shiva God, to launch today's session, Nyay, the Legal Literacy webinar. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for great words you have used for me. But still, what I feel that I also wanted to interact with the students on this topic because of the fact law is not seen as a very good subject for girls in our society. It's not a good feeling. What I feel, it creates bad mouthing. Otherwise, I will say that law is as education as any other education, maybe science, maybe technology, maybe medical, maybe anything else. So what for this education is, let us talk about that. Why education? When we educate our girls, particularly girls I am talking about, because of the fact that we are dealing with the girls here, we want that they must have some instrument with them with which they can make their future bright and must be able to defend in the society in case some attack is on them. Attack does not mean the actual attack, but attack means that there are several conditions where they cannot fit in and they want to come out of that. Then law is always there to help them out of that situation. So it's a big instrument, but it is double-edged equipment. Double-edged means you can use it for attack as well as to defend yourself. Secondly, it is an ornament. Education is an ornament of all. It adds to your value. Everybody is a human being. But how you say this is a good person, this is a bad person, he has got etiquette, he has not got etiquette, because of the fact that you will always say he's an educated person. Education, vidya dadati vinyam, vinyam dadati patata. Education gives everything. So I say it is an ornament of a man or woman, maybe you can say the mankind of the persons. We give education, good education, and take them to good institutions because of the fact that we, the parents, want a bright future for them, a good future where they don't have to face difficulties. How to solve them? To give good education, allow them to join good institutions, to help them out and decide which institution is better, this is not better, which rather you can say subject they must opt. It may be science, it may be medicine, but most of the persons I feel still in society don't prefer law. But let me tell you one thing. It is a well said, law is the king of kings. Even the highest executive, that means the president of India or maybe president of USA, bows down to law. That means I remember an event when the president of India, B.B. Giri, had to appear before the Supreme Court and he stood in dock before the Supreme Court judges. Think of that. The president is standing before the judges whom he has appointed. So this is what we say, law is the king of kings. The another nobility of law I can mention here is that I think the Nobel Prize is the best prize of the world. Everybody wants to achieve that. Can you imagine a person not from science, not from physics, not from chemistry, not from economics, is still winning the Nobel Prize? There are several instances, not 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, more than that, where the persons from law field have won this prize, Nobel Prize. Can you imagine that? Most of the persons, we persons are not aware of this. The man who is he's supposed to be father of UNO. He was a lawyer. He's a law background. He was practicing lawyer. When he gave this idea to the world that let us establish an institution which can maintain and just control all the states like UNO, he was awarded Nobel Prize for that. Similarly, we just talk about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We have got all the rights from where they come. They come from Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which were declared in the year 1948. The man who wrote these articles was not any other person than a lawyer. Look to the president of South Africa, if you remember Nelson Mandela. He was also a lawyer. He had a law background, and law backgrounds helps in each and every field. You think of anything. It may be your parents might be in the business, might be CA, might be company secretary, might be CEO, any other position, but they have to face on one point or the other, one time or other, law. If you want to pursue CA, then best thing is LLB law plus CA. While doing law, you can also join CA or company secretary, CS or CA, both of them. So the one best CA is one who has got the knowledge of CA as well as that of law. So law is the basis of these all these things. If you, I was just talking about the Nobel Prizes, let me talk 2 minutes. I will take Shiva. After that, I will hand it over to you. If you just think of our persons, our own persons, Babu Rajendra Prasad ji, the first president of India, he was a lawyer. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first prime minister of India, a lawyer. Shankar Dayal Sharma, after that, he was also BA, LLB, LLM, and PhD in law. So we can give several instances. Govind Vallabh Pant was a lawyer. Still, Sheikh Hasina is a lawyer, Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Margaret Thatcher of UK was a lawyer. There are plethora of names you can quote. The persons had a law background. Abraham Lincoln, look to that, whose definition of democracy is being quoted everywhere. He was a lawyer. So law gives a good background where person can build his own castle, and the beautiful castle. I can claim it. There are not one or two things I can talk about, but I still what I feel that Shiva had to give a loyal share, so I will hand it over to Shiva. Shiva, take over and please continue.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It is actually an extremely overwhelming experience to be present in the same panel with Dean sir, with Principal ma'am, and with all my friends, I would say. So first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to say that yes, I have been studying for a good 5 years in Mody University, and I have gained the best of my experience in this college under the guidance supervision of Dean sir specifically, right? So being very honest, why I was called today is to give you a brief why you should do law, or what is the basic idea, what is law, why one must be doing law. But honestly, I will not speak about it, because being Dean sir sitting over here, Principal ma'am just said, like everything is known. आप सबको सब कुछ पता है. Everyone who is present over here, they know what are we going to speak, right? So I'll say that Gandhi ji was the prominent advocate. He was barrister, उन्होंने law कर रखा था. Nelson Mandela sir has already mentioned. So everything we know, what are lawyers capable of. Trust me, everyone knows it. If you don't know, then we'll have another session to know what are lawyers capable of doing, right? In this session, I would like to tell you one basic thing which is very important, which things which I faced in practical, practically things which I faced being a girl and being an advocate, right? It is always very difficult for a female to, first of all, pursue law and to convince the family to be doing law, that this is the field that I want to choose first. And secondly, if you want to grow further, if you want to see a growth in your professional life in the field of law, it is difficult for a female, right? But it was difficult when like around 10 years down the line, if you see, it was difficult for females to get into this field. But now people are opting for law as a profession, law as a career. And trust me when I say, I'm into this profession for good 5 to 7 years, I guess. In 2015, I passed out. So for good 7 years, I've been practicing in High Court, in various court, DRT, NCLT courts, which you're not aware of, the tribunals, which you've never heard of. So I'm practicing in all those tribunals. And trust me, being a lady advocate is a privilege over there, right? Because as a matter of fact, we have all mentioned that Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi. Have you ever heard of a female advocate that she has achieved height? No. Why? The only reason being that females are a bit, they are not going upfront. They're not doing the things which they're actually supposed to do. If you have done law, you're just sitting, or maybe after 12th, you don't know what are the basic career options, right? हमें पता ही नहीं है कि what all are the career options that are available in front of us. Our parents say engineering कर लीजिए, MBA कर लीजिए, शादी कर लीजिए. These three are the only things that our parents persuade us to do, right? There are only few people who actually take up the challenges and who actually take up the most challenging and the most amazing profession, that is law, right? So I would like to basically tell that there are four pillars of democracy. Basically, basic three are legislature, executive, and judiciary, right? No matter what happens, no matter how, like, recession comes, COVID comes, Omicron comes, Delta variant comes, no matter any koi bhi vipda apada, let anything come, right? Any natural disaster calamity come, but the scope of lawyers, scope of doctors, scope of CAs, it is never going to end, right? It can never end. People won't back out from committing crimes. कभी नहीं back out करेंगे, ठीक है? So basically, it is very important to understand that law is very, very safe profession, right? इसका स्कोप कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. I will never hear a single person saying law में स्कोप नहीं है. No, if someone says so, they are just bluffing you, because I cannot buy this, right? Law में बहुत स्कोप है. A, B, which sir has already mentioned, like being a female, if you want to do CA, if you want to do CS, उसके साथ भी if you are clubbing law, it is an amazing opportunity for your career, basically. So I have done my law and CS when I was in Mody University itself. In my first year
But
only,
just
I pursued
with Shiva, with MBA also.
with MBA
MBA and
also.
LLB
Yes.
is a good combination.
Yes, definitely. BBA, BSc, MBA, CA, CS. So all these have, like, if you are clubbing law with any profession, it is altogether a different experience. If you have law in your resume, like, initially, like down the line, 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, being a female advocate, it was supposed to be a very challenging task. But ऐसा अब नहीं है, right? So okay, my conversation will be bilingual. आपको हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में, if you're not able to understand anything, please leave your comment in the chat box. And it is definitely a two-way communication, because we want everyone to be attentive and we want everyone to ask questions. ये सिर्फ एक academic session नहीं है. यहाँ पर I want everyone to ask question. अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट है, प्लीज आस्क क्वेश्चन. यहाँ पर सब आपके आंसर करने के लिए. आई होप एवरीवन इज रेडी टू आंसर, स्पेशली मी. ठीक है, राइट? सो जैसे सर ने अभी अभी बोला, you can club law with any profession, MBA, CA, CS, anything, right? Which I was saying, I did my CS and LLB together when I was in Mody. So I'll take this opportunity to brag about it, that I was the only person who got selected in CS, and my other fellow mates, like 40-50 people who were doing they could not clear it, because as a matter of fact, you'll have to be focused and dedicated towards your career and towards your subject and towards your profession, what you're pursuing. Be very clear what you're doing. So this kind of sessions, I believe, is providing a platform, letting you know that what are the career opportunities that you have after 12th. Because we as students, we were not so fortunate to get these kind of sessions or get these kind of guidance. Because being CS, हमें अगर बोला जाता था CS कर लो, तो we were supposed, like, we were assuming computer science is the thing, what they were talking about. And being very honest, I did apply for CS. I thought computer science का कोई course होगा, मैं उसमें apply कर देती हूँ. Later down the line, after 1 year, I understood कि नहीं, ये तो कोई company secretary करके course है. Being very honest, right? So these are the things that we are right. People are laughing on me. That is okay because this is the truth that I'm speaking. Being very honest, it happens if you're not given the right kind of career advices, that what all options you have after you're done with your 12th, then of course you'll be doing भेड़ चाल. जो सब कर रहे हैं, आप भी वही करेंगे. And after some point of time, you'll understand, okay, this is not what I'm meant for. मैं इसके लिए नहीं बनी. शायद आपको समझ आ जाए, शायद आपकी, I guess, शादी हो जाए. ठीक है, this is the problem which we female faces, right? So there are multiple people there. I guess there must be parents also who must be attending this session. So being very systematically, अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, तो law is a thing which is very simple and very complex at the very same time. लॉ एक ऐसा चीज है जो इतना सिंपल है, अगर आपको आता है तो यू आर द किंग. ठीक है, एंड क्वीन ऑफ कोर्स, राइट? बट अगर आपको नहीं आता है तो इट इज द मोस्ट टेडियस, cumbersome and complicated thing that you can ever know. right? Because like talking about very small things which sir has just mentioned, agar aapke your parents are businessmen, or if your parents are whatever, they are into any profession, they are into government job, at one point of time they must have come in contact with an advocate, और advocate के साथ नहीं आए होंगे तो उनके बनाए हुए documents के through जरूर गए होंगे. If your parents have gone through a job, they must have signed an offer, they must have been received an offer letter, an appointment letter, an employment contract. All these things are drafted by an advocate, right? So if some things go haywire in any law, then of course the employer serves a notice to the employee, right? And that notice is drafted by an advocate, right? When your parents go for consultation, that okay, we have received a notice, what to do, that consultation is given by an advocate, right? And if some things go haywire, अगर कुछ चीजें इधर उधर हो जाती है, चीजें नहीं ठीक बैठती, अगर वो केस होता है, again it comes down to the court. Now in court there are advocates, there are judges, there are multiple things that you can do after you have done law, right? I'm not saying to go for a litigation. Like there are hundreds of things that you can do if you are a lawyer. And what all things? You can go into litigation, right? You can be a judicial magistrate, government job. Our parents must always be, behind. You should have a government job. Being a girl and having a government job is always a secured thing. So of course, everyone has gone through this. Even I have gone through this. But I was a rebellious. I am still a rebellious person. Okay, in good way. Okay. So if you want to do law, there are multiple career opportunities in law. Like you can be an advocate in court. There are multiple tribunals where you can practice. You can be a judicial magistrate. You can give ये जो RJS का और ये जो judicial services के एग्जाम होते हैं जो different states के होते हैं, आप वो दे सकते हैं. ठीक है. आप किसी गवर्नमेंट के पैनल एडवोकेट बन सकते हैं. लाइक आई एम ए पैनल एडवोकेट विद पंजाब नेशनल बैंक. ठीक है. सो ये भी एक तरीके से गवर्नमेंट का भी मेरे पास एक वो इम्प्लीकेशन है, एम्पैनलमेंट है, और प्राइवेट के लिए भी मैं काम कर रही हूँ. ठीक है. और मैं कोर्ट में भी काम करूँ. सो बेसिकली इट इज लाइक डू वट एवर यू आर विलिंग टू डू. ठीक है. वट एवर मेक्स यू हैप्पी. सो इन लॉ देर आर लाइक बीइंग एन इंजीनियर, there are specifications, only these 5 things you can do, right? Being an MBA also, there are certain jobs which are supposed to accomplish, right? But being an advocate, trust me, I'm talking from experience, there are tons of things that you can be doing, right? आप जज बन सकते हैं, आप मैजिस्ट्रेट ऑफ कोर्स बन सकते हैं, आप किसी गवर्नमेंट के एडवोकेट बन सकते हैं, आप अपनी कॉर्पोरेट प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. आई हैव माय ओन लॉ फर्म. मेरी लॉ फर्म के हमारे अंडर, लाइक आई वोंट से अंडर, हमारे साथ में तकरीबन 18 से 20 लोग काम कर रहे हैं. 18 to 20 people are working with us, right? And we are fortunate that we have founded such kind of law firm and we are providing employment to people, right? So that is what you can be doing. You can be an entrepreneur, right? So there are multiple things that you can do if you have done law, right? Am I making sense? Like, are you able to understand? I see one head nod. Okay, perfect, great. So do you have any question? The one who was head nodding me, hi. Do you have any question? Like anyone has any question, anything which you want to know specifically? Because I don't want this session to be very boring. Do you have any question?
No.
Okay. Okay. So basically, like I said, there are multiple, which I believe the faculty who are organizing this session, Khushbu, they can provide you further information of what all career opportunities you have after you have done law. A. B. Maybe if you're not doing law also, like being a layman also, everyone should know what are the basic laws that are applicable to a person. Why? Okay. Why one should know what are the basic laws that are applicable to a person? Because I will just quote 5 to 7 laws, right? Which I believe, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, all of us to an extent are traumatized by such kind of thing. For example, if I say if we are driving a vehicle, अगर हम I don't know how many of you must be driving. मुझे नहीं पता आपकी age क्या है, if you are under 18 or above. But if you have seen people driving and if you're not wearing a helmet, और आपका पुलिस वाले एकदम से they turned off your the bicycle that you're driving, तो this is not allowed, right? वो turn off करके वो चाबी लेकर चले जाते हैं and we are just running behind them. Sir please दे दीजिए, sir please दे दीजिए, these are your charges, just take your charges. These are not allowed. सो मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट कहता है कि ये सारी चीजें अलाउड नहीं है। एक दूसरा, अगर आप मान लीजिए अगर आपने हेलमेट नहीं लगाया है, आज आपका चालान कट गया अगर आपने हेलमेट नहीं लगाया, तो आप पूरे दिन उस सेम ऑफेंस के लिए नहीं पकड़े जाओगे, ठीक है। सो आप पूरे दिन बिना हेलमेट के घूमिए, आप नहीं पकड़े जाओगे, बिकॉज एक क्राइम के लिए एक बार आपको पनिशमेंट मिल चुका है उसी दिन, राइट। सो दीज काइंड ऑफ लॉज हमें पता होनी चाहिए, बट हमें नहीं पता होती है, राइट। मान लीजिए अगर किसी को अरेस्ट करना है तो सुबह मतलब शाम के टाइम आप किसी को अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकते। जैसे 5 स्टार होटल, अच्छा ओके, दिस इज वेरी नाइस एग्जांपल व्हिच आई वुड लाइक टू कोट, ठीक है। अगर हम किसी 5 स्टार होटल में जाते हैं, ठीक है, और हम वहां स्टे नहीं कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ चलते चलते कोई 5 स्टार होटल में गया, so we can go there, we can visit, we can use the washroom, we can use the loo, we can have the drinkable water, they cannot stop us, ये लॉ है, पर ये हमें नहीं पता होता है, ठीक है। जैसे पॉट होल्स है, सड़क पे गड्ढे होते हैं, तो हम कभी भी अपनी जेएमसी जो भी वहां की अथॉरिटीज है उनको बुला करके अगर हम उसमें गिर गए, हमारे उससे खरोंच भी आ गई, तो हम कंपनसेशन क्लेम कर सकते हैं। कंपनसेशन से याद आया, अगर कोई सिलेंडर हमारे घर में है वो फट गया काम करते हुए, तो 50 लाख तक का कंपनसेशन मिलता है। एक मतलब कंपनसेशन बोले तो इफ यू डोंट नो व्हाट इज कंपनसेशन, कोई और हमें गवर्नमेंट या कोई और अथॉरिटी हमें पे करती है उस काम के लिए जो हमें हुआ है, ठीक है। सो 50 लाख तक का मुआवजा हमें मिलता है, ठीक है। ये लॉज हमें पता ही नहीं होती है, वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ दीज लॉज, जो एक जनरल लेमैन को एक लाइक इफ इवन इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग लॉ, these are the things which you should be aware of, आपको पता होना चाहिए for the fact कि आपको कहीं पर भी if you are standing in a group of people then you should be aware of your rights, ठीक है। आपको पता होना चाहिए, आपकी critical thinking होनी चाहिए, if you want to make a difference आपको law हर किसी को पता होना चाहिए, right? Am I making sense? Yes.
Yes, certainly, ma'am.
Certainly, okay. Thank you. So, first of all, I guess छोटा मोटा मैंने आपको बता दिया what all things you can do. आप 12th के बाद क्या क्या चीजें कर सकते हैं। I believe this is not the right time, मैं आपको वो समझाने का is not the correct platform, but still काफी सारी चीजें हैं, जैसे कि क्लैट होता है, हम सबको पता है क्लैट है, क्लैट देना है, क्लैट करना है, क्लैट करना है, सबको पता है क्लैट करना है। क्लैट के अलावा क्या, I've seen people who have wasted their 2 to 3 years. They were just sitting doing clat करना है, clat में नहीं हुआ, मेरा NLU में नहीं हुआ. That is okay. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter कि आप NLU से pass out हो या किसी normal college से pass out हो, ठीक है? What matters is how good your communication skills are, your convincing skills are, आपका critical analysis कैसा है, आप किस तरीके से लोगों से बात कर रहे हैं, आपका decision making कैसा है, that is very important. और कोई भी college, कोई भी institute जो आपको ये सिखा पाए, आई बिलीव उसको ज्वाइन कर लें, चाहे वो एनएलयू हो, चाहे वो डीयू हो, चाहे वो यूपीएससी से निर्मा हो, या वो मोदी यूनिवर्सिटी। ऑफ कोर्स मैं मोदी से हूँ, मैं मोदी को प्रमोट करूंगी, ठीक है ना, बट ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग ज्वाइन एनी लॉ कॉलेज, ज्वाइन एनी इंस्टीट्यूट, क्लैट करें, एलसैट करें, बहुत सारे करियर ऑप्शंस होते हैं जो आप 12th के बाद कर सकते हैं इन द फील्ड ऑफ लॉ, ठीक है। कुछ भी करें, बट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज डोंट स्टिक फॉर एनएलयूज। मोस्ट जब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है वो ये है कि आपको क्रिटिकल नॉलेज होनी चाहिए लॉ की, एंड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छा होना चाहिए। तो अगर आपने लॉ करा है तो एनीवे आपका कम्युनिकेशन स्किल आई बिलीव अच्छा होगा ही होगा, ठीक है, अगर आपने तमीज से, ढंग से, फोकस्ड, इफ यू फोकस्ड एंड डूइंग लॉ, राइट। सो दीज 2 years are the buffer period, 11th and 12th. I believe these 2 years are the buffer period for you to understand that is law the right option for you, should you be doing law. And trust me, being a female, if someone says don't do law because you're a female, trust me, it is just opposite of it. Do law because you're a female. Law kare. It is amazing, like amazing platform and very safe and very viable because there are multiple career opportunities. Job कर सकते हो प्राइवेट में, पब्लिक में, कंपनीज में, ठीक है ना। आप किसी कंपनी के पैनल एडवोकेट बन सकते हो, किसी बैंक के एडवोकेट बन सकते हो। जैसे मैं 3 बैंक के एडवोकेट हूँ, पीएनबी गवर्नमेंट बैंक, एसबीआई गवर्नमेंट बैंक, कैनरा बैंक गवर्नमेंट बैंक, ठीक है। आपको वहां से पैसा भी आएगा, पेरेंट्स भी खुश हो जाएंगे कि गवर्नमेंट है, नाम भी मिलेगा, ठीक है, एंड यू हैव अ क्रेडिबिलिटी इन द सोसाइटी, ठीक है। लॉ किया है, क्रेडिबिलिटी 200% आएगी, ठीक है। एंड दीज थिंग्स, लॉ, सीए, डॉक्टर्स, इनका स्कोप कभी खत्म नहीं होगा, नेवर, इट इज नेवर गोइंग टू एंड, राइट। सो ऑफ कोर्स बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं आपके पास बहुत सारे और करियर ऑप्शंस भी हैं, बट लॉ आई बिलीव इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट. और भी बहुत है, this is one of the best, right? Anything else which any one of you want to ask? अगर आपको कुछ भी पूछना है, क्या कर सकते हैं, कैसे कर सकते हैं, कितने टाइम में कर सकते हैं, so please this platform is open for conversations. किसी का कोई सवाल?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, what are the strengths and weaknesses we would need in law while doing law?
Okay. What are the strengths and weaknesses you would need being an advocate? So, being very honest, one or two things that you need, not being an advocate, do any profession, but there are two things which you definitely need. One is confidence. Second is perseverance. ठीक है, आपको continuously dedication के साथ, if you are dedicated towards anything, trust me, anything, be it CA, be it CS, be it law, BSc, BA, BBA, ठीक है, और MBA में भी, ठीक है, if you are consistent, अगर आप वो करना चाहते हो, so that is the one most important thing: consistent, perseverance, dedication, and confident. Be very confident about it that you want to do this particular thing. ठीक है, so अगर आपको advocate बनना है, be confident, मेरे को बनना है. ठीक है, that is it. You don't need any special kind of skills. ठीक है, if speaking of me, I'll take just 1 minute. Speaking of me, I was very shy, very timid, very into me kind of person. I was, to be very honest, I'm not bluffing any one of you, I was not able to speak also in front of public. And when I joined, when I was in first year, the whole credit goes to my university, definitely, and to Dean sir, who of course who allowed me to participate in moot courts and everything. So there is one thing called moot court. You'll understand, like your teachers will make you understand moot court kya hota hai. So I was allowed to participate, and that was the turning point of my life, which allowed me to speak, to have my decision making power, to to be very vocal about my thoughts and my processes. So there is nothing that you need to have in you. The only thing is, be very confident that you want to do it. A, B, just be, there should be dedication, perseverance. आपको continuously करना है, ठीक है, छोड़ना नहीं है उसको, बिकॉज बोर हो जाते हैं. ठीक है, एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के बाद आप कुछ भी, कोई भी प्रोफेशन चुनो, बोर हो जाते हो. बट बी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड परसिस्टेंट, राइट? सो डिड आई मेक सेंस? ओके.
Yes, ma'am.
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? Do you want to know how much you can learn, you can earn while doing law? Like कितना पैसा कमा सकते हैं? Anyone is interested? कोई money minded है यहाँ पर मेरी तरह?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh, there are two. Nice. There must be many, but not able to raise their hands. So being very honest, in law, there is, I won't use the word filthy, but there is like, you'll mint money. You know what is the meaning of mint money? Mint money is like, अगर आप अपने अपने पेरेंट्स की भाषा में अगर बोलते हैं ना, पैसा कूटते हैं, ठीक है, there is ultimate amount of money that you can earn if you are dedicated, right? I won't say that being an advocate you'll earn plenty amount of money, no. But if you're dedicated towards this profession, of course you'll need 4 to 5 years down the line. But after that, I believe this is like, this profession pays a lot, right? So I've seen advocates who charge basically 15 lakh per hearing, just to stand in front of the court, just to stand in front of the PO or the judge. They charge 15 lakh, 20 lakh just to stand one hearing, right? So it pays you a lot, but again, you need to have that knowledge, you need to have that dedication and that commitment. If you have all these particular things, then of course you can earn a lot in law, right? So there are multiple options also. If you're teaching also, if you're teaching law, then also the salary of a professor is very good. Handsome amount of salary you get if you are a professor of law, right? So earning in law, don't go by the norms of the society. If they say that if you're an advocate you won't be able to earn, no, I'm sitting as an example. You earn a lot. You can earn decent amount of money if you invest your time and your energy and your knowledge and your resources into it, right? So you can earn a lot, right? Any other question that you would want to ask?
Yes.
Ma'am, yes, go ahead.
So if it is usually said that lawyers are good at manipulating, so is it true? Does one have to manipulate people?
Okay, so I'll have to be diplomatic while answering your question, right? So lawyers are not manipulators; they are persuaders, right? You don't need to manipulate people. Manipulation is a negative word, I believe. That is my assumption says so. I'm not saying in general it has to be negative, but lawyers are very diplomatic people. Like I just said, they if they want you to believe a thing, they'll be very playing very diplomatically and they'll sail through it, right? So no, you don't have to be a manipulator, you have to be a persuader. आप persuade करते हैं, आप manipulate नहीं करते. So this is a wrong word, so take it out of your dictionary. So like we say, हम judge नहीं करते, हम analyze करते हैं, ठीक है? So हम judge करते हैं मतलब मैंने आपको देखा नहीं, मैं आपके बारे में जानती नहीं, and I've passed a verdict, ये ऐसी होगी, ठीक है? But analyze karna, I know your strengths, I know your weaknesses, I know your appearance, I know everything about you. I've known all the pros and cons, I've just gone through everything, and now I am saying, okay, she is this kind of person. Mahi, right? Did I spell it right? Mihai. Okay, so then I say Mihai is this kind of person. So that is analysis. So no, we are not manipulators, we are persuaders, right? Make sense? Okay. Any other query?
Yes, ma'am. There was a question from the audience which I got to ask. There was someone asking about the JAG examination. I don't know. I think the full form is Judge Advocate General from Indian Army. I don't know about it, ma'am. If you can throw some light on it.
Okay. Yes. So, like I said, these kind of, you can be an advocate of army also. So this is that kind of exam जहाँ पर आप आर्मी के एडवोकेट बनते हैं, ठीक है? So basically ये सारे एग्जाम तब आप दे पाओगे जब आप एडवोकेट बन जाओगे. For that you'll have to do law, ठीक है? आप आर्मी के एडवोकेट बन सकते हो, आप जज बन सकते हो, आप पीओ बन सकते हो, प्रोविजनरी ऑफिसर्स बन सकते हो, ठीक है? आप गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम भी दे सकते हो. आप गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम दे करके आप बहुत तेरा लाइक एवरी बैंक, हर बैंक में, हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक एडवोकेट उनका इंटरनल होता है, ठीक है? सो अगर बैंक्स की बात करें, सो बैंक्स हम जो सॉरी हम जो एसएससी करते हैं, ठीक है, हम जो बैंक्स के एग्जाम देते हैं, सो हर बैंक के पास एक उनका खुद का लॉ ऑफिसर होता है, ठीक है, जो बहुत सारे मल्टीपल लेवल्स पर होते हैं, ठीक है? एक मैं आपको मिनिमम बता रही हूँ, उनके पास तकरीबन 20 इंटरनल एडवोकेट होते हैं, ठीक है, जिन्होंने लॉ करी हुई होती है. सो आप बैंक्स के एडवोकेट बन सकते हो. बैंक्स में मैनेजर भी एडवोकेट्स होते हैं, ठीक है? सो आप आर्मी के एडवोकेट बन सकते हो, जो अभी आपने नाम मेंशन किया, वो आर्मी के एडवोकेट बनने के लिए, ठीक है? आर्मी में जज भी बन सकते हो. सो दीज आर ऑल, देयर आर मल्टीपल opportunities which are open for you as an advocate, right? Any other question?
Namaskar, ma'am. I just wanted to ask, like, what kind of cases do you handle, like, usually?
Do I have what kind of cases do I handle, like particularly asking about me or in general?
Ma'am, general.
In general, okay, in general there are multiple, like I cannot name them, right? There are so many cases. So starting with there are civil cases, right? Civil involves basically if there are any cases related to salary, if there are any cases related to service matters. अगर आपको सैलरी नहीं मिली है तो, या फॉर एग्जांपल कॉलेज ने आपसे ज्यादा, स्कूल ने आपसे ज्यादा फीस ले ली और आपको रीइंबर्स नहीं कर रहे हैं, सो यू विल फाइल अ केस अगेंस्ट देम. सॉरी अगर कोई इसके बाद में केस फाइल कर दे तो, ठीक है? सो दिस काइंड ऑफ सिविल केसेस होते हैं, ठीक है? काफी सारे मोटर व्हीकल एक्सीडेंट हो जाते हैं, उस तरीके के केसेस होते हैं. क्रिमिनल केसेस बहुत सारे होते हैं, अगर किसी ने किसी को सर फोड़ दिया किसी का, ठीक है? डिफेमेशन के केसेस होते हैं, मानहानि हम जिसको बोलते हैं, ठीक है? उसके बाद उसके बाद देयर आर कंपनीज केसेस. कंपनी से रिलेटेड जितने भी केसेस होते हैं, कंपनी के डायरेक्टर्स ने अगर कुछ गुफअप किया या पेमेंट नहीं किया या किया है, सो वो कंपनीज के अलग केसेस होते हैं जो एनसीएलटी में जाते हैं, नेशनल कंपनी लॉ ट्रिब्यूनल. सो दीज आर द ट्रिब्यूनल्स वे यू कैन प्रैक्टिस, जो कि राजस्थान की बात करें तो सिर्फ जयपुर में है, पूरे राजस्थान का ट्रिब्यूनल जयपुर में है. सो आई एम प्रैक्टिसिंग ओवर देयर. एंड और बात करें तो डीआरटी होता है, डेप्ट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल, जहां बैंक के केसेस जाते हैं. अगर बैंक से आपने लोन लिया है और आपने वो लोन का पेमेंट नहीं किया, या फिर कोई और गुफअप जो आपने बैंक के साथ किया है, प्रॉपर्टी आपकी मॉर्गेज हो गई है, उसको बिकवानी है, ठीक है. सो उस तरीके के केसेस डेप्ट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल में जाते हैं. वहां पर भी प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. इट हैज वेरी वेरी गुड स्कोप to practice in DRT. So even I'm practicing in DRT. So it is very nice a platform to practice, right? So इस तरीके के cases होते हैं. तो मैंने आपको दोनों आंसर दे दिए. इन जनरल कौन से हो सकते हैं और मैं किन किन में प्रैक्टिस कर रही हूँ, राइट? एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
Thank you, ma'am.
I had a question. Ma'am,
Yes,
as
yes.
my teacher says that a case is very strong from both the sides. Like both the sides has the capability to win the case. So has there been any case which you find prima facie that you can't take it, or maybe it's really the wrong side of it and you had to refuse it?
Okay. Again, I'll have to be very diplomatic answering this question, but yes, it happened. It happened once. So when I was asked to take a case of a rapist, basically, right, and that person himself told me that, ma'am, I have raped 3 females, right? And I was assisting a senior, basically. I was with my senior. That was not my individual case. I was with my senior, and that senior happens to be my uncle only. So we were sitting together, and now I was in a dilemma, because I always, in my law school, in my entire journey, I always used to say that I won't take case of criminal. If I know that he or she is a criminal, I won't be taking their cases. But as soon as this case came in front of me, I was in a panic state. I was like, what to do? Should I take it or not? Um, but ultimately, I did not take that case because there were two factors to deriving force. One, yes, he was ready to pay huge amount of money, not to me, but to my uncle, basically, and I was assisting him. So, but the driving force was I was convinced that I won't be able to handle this case because my mind was not in favor of that particular person. A, and B, of course, I try to take very ethical cases. I individually try to take ethical cases, as my mind and my personality is built up in such a manner that I'll take only cases where I know that, okay, my client is not in a guilty form. So that was the day when I stopped taking criminal cases. So as an advocate, you can excel in one field, right? आप हर किसी फील्ड में एक्सेल नहीं कर सकते. So I believe that my mind processed in such a manner कि मैं क्रिमिनल केसेस अगर लेती हूँ तो आई गेट इन्वॉल्व इनग्रोस्ड इन इट, और मैं अपना बहुत ज्यादा एनर्जी ड्रेन कर देती हूँ. So I started I started reducing criminal cases and started taking civil and miscellaneous and bank related matters मैंने उठाने ज्यादा start कर दी. So yes, it happened, and I did not take that case. Yes. So here is your answer.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Ma'am, another question I got from the audience, which has my own personal
Yes.
interest. I want to know what age did you really decide that you want to be a lawyer, and you really want to pursue law, do something in the field of law? Because at this age of 11th and 12th, when we are in these classes, we are in such a dilemma of different fields and different interests. So how did you decide that this is your kick?
You'll be surprised to know if I tell you that I was in 4th standard when someone asked me that, what do you want to do? And out of nowhere, I was like, I want to be an advocate, right? So I don't know with this fluency I said or not, but I told कि मेरे को तो वकील बनने का है, ठीक है ना? And my parents were surprised to hear this. Like, are you serious? So being in 4th standard, you're saying that you want to be an advocate. This is not the right profession for you. Again, you're not meant for it. You are a girl. You shouldn't be doing law and all those things. It came up to me, and I was like, look, I'm really interested in doing law. Will you allow me? They were like, yes. So they saw the dedication, the confidence that I'm talking about. So of course they allowed me. So yes, in 4th standard, I decided that I want to do law. So but at that point of time, इतने करियर ऑप्शंस भी नहीं थे और पता भी नहीं था कि लॉ करके करना क्या है. ठीक है. अभी there are multiple options if you are an advocate, like tremendous amount of options are available in the market. So if you dive into it, you'll understand बहुत सारे options है. Like in 2017 I got the not full but major idea कि कितने सारे options available है. Till 2015 when I completed my law, मुझको नहीं आइडिया था कि इतने सारे options law में भी available होते हैं, right? So here you go. In fourth standard I decided that I want to be an advocate, which is pretty early for me, but आप लोग को अभी तक decide कर लेना चाहिए. Okay. Any other
Yes,
question?
ma'am. And ma'am, what if anybody who has not been in the field of law or humanities, from someone from commerce or science per se, will he or she be able to pursue law in future?
Definitely, why not? Like law has nothing to do with your 12th. Trust me. It has no base. आपके 12th का और law का कोई base नहीं है. ठीक है ना. अगर आप science से आ रहे हैं, आप commerce से आ रहे हैं, आप arts से आ रहे हैं, doesn't matter. ठीक है. I was a commerce student. Though my entire school wanted me to take science because I was good in science. But पता नहीं क्यों I did commerce and I was very happy with it. जब लॉ के अंदर आए, कॉमर्स का और लॉ का कोई लेना देना नहीं. ठीक है. आपसे अगर ये पूछा जाए कि व्हाट आर योर फंडामेंटल राइट्स, जो कि शायद आपको पता होगा, अगर नहीं भी पता तो मान लीजिए मोटर व्हीकल के क्या राइट्स है, तो क्या 12th तक का आपका ऐसा कोई भी सब्जेक्ट है जो आपको एम्पावर करे या आपको बताता हो कि मोटर व्हीकल हमने 12th में पढ़ रखा है, मैं तो आर्ट्स का स्टूडेंट हूँ, मुझे पता है ये सारी बातें. नहीं, इट डजंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग विद योर 12th, राइट? सो like choose whatever stream you are choosing in 11th and 12th. In every stream you can do law, right? So I have seen people जिन्होंने कॉलेज हमारा सेकंड ईयर थर्ड ईयर में ज्वाइन किया था, they have left their particular fields, whatever they were doing. कोई इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग कर रहा था, कोई क्या कर रहा था, they've left it and come to law. ठीक है. So it doesn't have to do anything with your 11th and 12th.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I think a participant has a question for you. Bhavya, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Bhavya, do you have a question? She just left like this. That's okay.
No problem, ma'am. Is there
That's
anybody
okay.
else
So
who has any
basically,
question?
Perfect. So I would like to sum up this whole conversation by saying that choose any field that you want to do, right? Anything that you want to. I'm not persuading you to do law, right? I'm not using the word manipulation. I'm not persuading you to do law. Basically, what I'm trying to say is choose any profession that you want to, but you should have basic knowledge of law. That is very, very important and basic necessity of a layman, and which Dean sir has already said. Dean sir ने पहले ही बोल दिया है कि it is an asset. It is an asset. It is an ornament for a female to be aware of her legal rights. ठीक है. If you want to, if there is a quote which says, if we desire respect for the law, then we must first make law respectable. Okay. So basically it is very important, if as a female pursue anything that you want to do, but you should have basic knowledge of law to attack and to defend, जो डीन सर already बता चुके हैं. I don't want to be repeating the same thing, but even if you want to attack someone or defend yourself, you should know the basis of law. आपको law पता होना चाहिए. Like for example, if you have I'll just give you one basic example. Murder. अगर आपने किसी का murder कर दिया, but there are exceptions to it. ठीक है. और अगर आपको वो exceptions पता है तो उन exceptions के अंदर आप murder कर सकते हो. I'm not persuading you to do anything. I'm just explaining you that these small things, ये जो छोटी छोटी law के factors होते हैं, this is the right time for you to learn these factors in 11th, in 12th, or maybe in first year of whatever thing you are pursuing. This is the right age for you to understand कि क्या क्या चीजें नॉर्मल लेमैन को, क्या क्या लीगल पॉइंट्स एक नॉर्मल लेमैन को पता होनी चाहिए, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू सम अप विद. And if you have any questions, any query, then I believe Khushbu, the one who has conducted the session, or the Mody school, is the right authority to ask these questions to. And if you have any queries, you can come up to me anytime. If any one of you want to contact me, Khushbu is the right person. She's the point of contact. You can come to me through her, right? So
Cannot avoid sharing your embellished career with the audience in the meeting. Therefore, I now take this opportunity in introducing our second eminent resource person for today's webinar, Madam Shiva Gaur, who has done her LLB, LLM, and CS. Madam Shiva Gaur is at present a practicing advocate in Jaipur High Court, the Debts Recovery Tribunals, and the National Company Law Tribunals. Advocate Shiva is also on board as a legal advisor and impaneled advocate of various individuals, companies, and banks. Not limiting her abilities to just one field, Madam Shiva has proved her worth as a strong sports person as well by securing gold at the national level in volleyball. A zealous and confident debater on television, Advocate Shiva has also been an active spokesperson and guest faculty at various colleges and institutions like Rajasthan Police Academy, the Rajasthan Patrika Management Team, the ICSI, the ICFAI, Jaipur, the ICAI, the Kanoria Law College, the JCB Company, the JECRC, the KMT Company, and the Filmi Kari Mumbai, to name a few. For Madam Shiva, the sky is certainly not the limit, and thus she serves as the state president of Anti-Sexual Harassment Rajasthan for Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are indeed proud to have you here, ma'am, today, and we were very eager to listening to the words of wisdom from you, ma'am. Now, moving forward, I would like to invite Taiba to propose the vote of thanks and thus conclude the program.
William Arthur Watt believes feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. On behalf of Mody School, it is my proud privilege and honor to render grateful thanks to Professor Satish C. Sastry, Dean SOL, for his perpetual guidance and mentoring of young minds. The School of Law rests on his extremely wise and capable shoulders, and I, Taiba Bhulla, take this opportunity to offer profuse thanks to him for being here with us today, lending grace and gravitas to the occasion. Thank you, sir. Our gratitude extends also to Ms. Shiva Gaur for sparing her time, which we are certain is extremely valuable, to be here with us on this virtual platform. Thank you for sharing your experiences from the world of law and for pressing home the importance and need to be aware of the legal necessities in a manner that made it so comprehensible, even to laymen. Thanks to all the attendees, principal, Mody School, students, parents, guardians, faculty, for being a truly appreciative and attentive audience. I also thank members of the IT department who worked behind the scenes to bring to fruition this highly informative webinar. We look forward to holding many events of a similar nature in the coming weeks and months. With the collaboration and cooperation of each one of you, we were successfully able to host today's event. Everyone is also requested to share their feedback using the link